Assalamu alaikum, dear students, how are you all? Today we are going to discuss nitrogen cycle. We know that the largest single source of nitrogen is in the atmosphere, and nitrogen makes up 78% of our air. Now what happens to atmospheric nitrogen in the nitrogen cycle? My dear students, atmospheric nitrogen is converted to ammonia or nitrates. Then why does atmospheric nitrogen needs to be converted? It's one of nature's great ironies. Nitrogen is an essential component of DNA and proteins, the building blocks of life. Although the majority of the air we breathe is nitrogen, most living organisms are unable to use nitrogen as it exists in the atmosphere. Then, how does atmospheric nitrogen get changed into a form that can be used by most living organisms? So, it is by traveling through one of the four processes in the nitrogen cycle: nitrogen fixation, ammonification, nitrification, and then comes denitrification. The first process in the nitrogen cycle is nitrogen fixation. What is nitrogen fixation and what does it mean to say nitrogen gets fixed? Nitrogen fixation is the process that causes the strong two-atom nitrogen molecules found in the atmosphere to break apart so they can combine with other atoms. So nitrogen gets fixed, and when it is combined with other oxygen or hydrogen, we said that nitrogen gets fixed. There are three ways that nitrogen gets fixed: atmospheric fixation, industrial fixation, and biological fixation. Atmospheric fixation. The enormous energy of lightning breaks nitrogen molecules apart and enables the nitrogen atoms to combine with oxygen, forming nitrogen oxide. Nitrogen oxide dissolves in rain, forming nitrates, and then nitrates are carried to the ground with the rain. Then comes industrial fixation. Under great pressure at a temperature of 600 degrees Celsius and with the use of catalyst, atmospheric nitrogen and hydrogen are combined to form ammonia. Ammonia can be used as fertilizer. Then biological fixation, where most nitrogen fixing is completed. There are two types of nitrogen fixation bacteria: free-living bacteria that fixes up to 30% of nitrogen, then symbiotic relationship bacteria that fixes 70% of nitrogen fixation. Free-living bacteria are highly specialized bacteria that live in the soil and have the ability to combine atmospheric nitrogen with hydrogen to make ammonia. Symbiotic relationship bacteria. Bacteria live in the roots of legume family plants and provide the plants with ammonia in exchange for the plant's carbon and a protected home. Some of the ammonia escapes into the surrounding soil, enriching it with usable nitrogen for all plants. Most atmospheric nitrogen is fixed and changed to ammonia. Ammonia is highly toxic to many organisms. Can plants use ammonia? Very few plants can use ammonia. But fortunately, the second process, ammonification, can help. What is ammonification? Ammonification means decomposition by bacteria and fungi breaks down amino acid from dead animals and wastes into ammonia. So bacteria decomposes, break down amino acid into ammonia. Why is ammonification necessary? Yes, because plants cannot use the organic form of nitrogen that are in the soil as a result of wastes, manure and sewage, compost and decomposing roots and leaves. How does ammonification occur? Microorganisms convert the organic nitrogen to ammonia. The ammonia is either taken up by the plants only in a few types of plants or is absorbed into the soil particles. Ammonia in the soil is stored up to later be changed into forms of nitrogen that most plants can use. What happens to ammonia stored in the soil? It travels through the third process of the nitrogen cycle called nitrification. Let's run through a general overview of nitrification process. Nitrifying bacteria in the ground first combine ammonia with oxygen to form nitrites. Then another group of nitrifying bacteria convert nitrites to nitrates, which green plants can absorb and use. How does nitrogen re-enter the atmosphere in the nitrogen cycle? Through the fourth process called denitrification. What does denitrification do? Denitrification converts nitrates in the soil to atmospheric nitrogen, replenishing the atmosphere. Denitrifying bacteria live deep in soil and in swampy sediments, where conditions make it difficult for them to get oxygen. The denitrifying bacteria use nitrates as an alternative to oxygen, leaving free nitrogen gas as a byproduct. They close the nitrogen cycle. Other ways that nitrogen returns to the atmosphere are emissions from industrial combustion and gasoline engines create nitrous oxide gas. Volcano eruptions emit nitrous oxide gas. This is the complete pictorial description of the nitrogen cycle. Hopefully, the concept has been cleared. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much.